Causes of unemployment. I'm going to share with you today about the effects that I believe to be the cause of unemployment. Unemployment is one of the most common faced problems in almost every country. And I have concluded that there is no country with 0.0% unemployment rate. According to the World Labour Organization, 3.3 billion people employed throughout the world are working under poor conditions and facing other undesirable factors. We have very many graduates but doing the jobs they dislike just to earn a living. A person with a degree in business administration or any other course working as a waiter or even more worse. Any attempt to make a decision or to solve a problem without including God is a half-hearted attempt. This is because the knowledge of man is limited, but the knowledge and the wisdom of God is unlimited. And the only way to connect to God is through Jesus. If you are unemployed, working on the job you hate, or you don't know the purpose of why you're working, this and the next videos will be of great advantage to you. It's so sad that some people don't know why they are working. All they do is to work and spend money. So I'm going to share with you 10 causes of unemployment, but I'll divide them into two pieces. So we shall first share 5 causes of unemployment. Number 1, conformity. Because God is omnipotent, He created everything with its own individual characteristics and nature. Not all human beings are the same. Every individual is different, starting from the behaviors, thinking capacity, color, fingerprints, and many others. We are the same, but each individual is completely different from another. The Father and the Son, they may be related, but each one is totally different from another. However, many people are trying to be like someone else, doing things that others are doing what others tell them to do. And in that process, they end up taking another person's identity and neglecting their own. I believe this is why God told us not to desire another man's property, because we are different from another. What another person likes, it's not what I like. What worked for someone else may be not for that what will work for me. However, many people are trying to be someone else. What a sad. You are a unique individual, different from all other beings. No one has the exact same nature that you have. Your purpose, talents are different from another person. No one can dictate what your identity should be apart from God Himself. Don't waste your time trying to be somebody you are not. You are born an original, don't die a copy. Ask God to show you the purpose and the plan He has for your life, because He knows everything about you. God said and says, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you. What I'm saying, don't follow what others have done, but try to discover what God has planned for you, because you are different. And the reason why most people are unemployed is because we are trying to be like others, do things what others have done. The second one is ignorance. The reason most people struggle in life is because what they know is little compared to what they don't know. God said, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." You can read Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. Another word for knowledge is information. In this age of information, not every knowledge will help you, but only the knowledge of truth can set you free. Jesus said, "If you continue in my word, then you are my disciples indeed, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." This guarantees that the only thing that can set you free is the truth. The purpose of knowing the truth is to be able to make it work for you. What do I mean? You need the truth in order to deal with things as they are and get predictable results from them. The truth is the information that helps you to distinguish between good and bad, which leads to predictable results. Let me explain it this way. If you know that fire burns, you'll know that something, I have to put it there, or I don't have to put this there. If you don't want to burn yourself, you'll not put your hand in fire because you know the truth about what fire can do. The less you know, the more you think you know. And the more you know, the more you realize how much you don't know. I repeat, the less you know, the more you think you know. But the more you know, the more you realize how much you don't know. An ignorant person is the one who believes what he doesn't know is not important. Please, do not rely on your own understanding, because what you know is little compared to what you don't know. You don't have enough time to know everything, and you will never know everything. To make life easier, depend on Jesus, because he knows everything. He said, "All things that the Father has are mine." Take note. Read John chapter 16 verse 13 to 15. Read Proverbs chapter 2 verse 6 to 7. So we are going to the third cause of unemployment. And this one is irresponsibility. Irresponsible people are experts to transferring blame for their own behaviors, conditions, irresponsible actions, and complaining. We hold back our God-given talents and opportunities for solving problems when we start transferring blame and making excuses. Now listen to this. Most of the reasons given by unemployed individuals are either of transferring blame or showing they have no control over what is happening. They make themselves victims to other people's decisions. For example, one will say, "I don't have a job because people hire their relatives and tribe mates." Let's continue. We have so much control over our lives, but only a few experience it. We become victims and lose the spirit of creativity when we start transferring blame and making excuses. We become victims and lose the spirit of creativity when we start transferring blame and making excuses. You cannot control circumstances, but you will always control the way you respond to them. Why? God gave you the freedom to make a choice. There are things that are beyond our control. There are things that we have no power of, but we always have the power to respond. We always have the control on how to respond. And this is the gift that God gave us. Hear this now. People are not sent to heaven. They decide to go. People are not sent to heaven. They decide to go. People are not sent to hell. They decide to go. People decide either to be rich or to be poor. People decide to follow Jesus or to reject him. That shows that God gave you the freedom to choose. When you follow the words of Jesus, Jesus never forced anyone to follow him. Read John 3, chapter 3, verse 19, and 1 Samuel 8, chapter 8, verse 7. Okay, let's continue. Responsible people spend most of their time seeking possible solutions, while irresponsible people spend most of their time transferring blame of their conditions. Some blame God, others blame Satan, the government, society, and many others. Responsible people don't blame circumstances, conditions, or conditionings of their behaviors. They make decisions determined by their values, priorities, and knowledge, rather than emotions and feelings. They make decisions determined by their values, priorities, and knowledge, rather than emotions and feelings. Sometimes we should not make decisions based on our feelings and emotions, because all these, they may lead us astray. But the best way to make a decision is to determine your decisions based on your values, priorities, and knowledge. Remember this: the best and effective way when making a decision or seeking a solution is to acknowledge God, and he will guide you because he knows everything. King Solomon said, "Acknowledge God in all your ways and he will direct you." So let's continue to the fourth cause of unemployment: wrong priorities. Priorities are defined as establishing the most important thing or placing high value and worth upon something over the rest. When you value something over the rest, that means it's part of your priorities. Now hear this. Priorities determine the quality of your life, and they dictate your actions and behaviors. Priorities determine the quality of our life, and they dictate our actions and behaviors. If your priorities, you have set them, then whatever you do, it is determined by your priorities. Therefore, then it is essential that we understand and identify our priorities. God's priorities for mankind are completely the opposite of man's priorities. In this system of the world, we are taught to go to school, get good grades, so that we can get a job that will pay you a lot of money, so that you can satisfy your needs and live a happy life. In other words, in this system, you are taught, go to school, get good grades, get a good job, get a lot of money from that job, and you will live a happy life. According to Jesus, the priorities of God for man are: seek the kingdom of God first, and then all things shall be added to you. Seek the kingdom of God first and his righteousness, and then all other things shall be added to you. You can read Matthew chapter 6 verse 33 for further research and reading. According to Jesus, there are two priorities that motivate the actions of man. According to Jesus, there are two priorities that motivate the actions of man. It's either God or money. Failure to establish correct priorities causes to waste your three most important resources. I repeat, failure to establish correct priorities causes to waste your three most important resources. The first one is time. The second one is energy. And the third one is talent. However, correct priorities preserve and protect your time, energy, talents. They determine your decisions and discipline. No one can serve two masters, Jesus said. Matthew chapter 6 verse 24. Your priorities will determine your actions. If God is the first priority in your life, then whatever you do, you'll do it according to God's will. And if money and other things are your priorities, well, you will act the same way. And the results you will get the same. But they are totally different. Hear this now. When you are outside of God, hear this now. Wealth and riches, popularity or fame, education qualifications, all combined, they are still limited to what they offer to you. Now, if of the two priorities, God is not the first priority in your life, then here this: wealth and riches, popularity or fame, education qualifications, all combined, they are still limited to what they offer to you. The extreme disaster in life is not death, but it's life with wrong priorities. The greatest mistake in life is spending your precious time, energy, and talents on things that are not everlasting and on things that are not worth. Earthly wealth and riches are not permanent. Ask Job, he will tell you. Jesus said it this way: clothes are not, Jesus said it this way: the body, the life is more worth than food. And it's true. Life is more important than food. So it is that the body is more important than clothes. Then why do you worry about what you will eat, what you will drink, what you will wear? On the judgment day, possessions and properties do not matter, but your actions will be the ones that matter. Jesus said, every man will be judged according to his actions. He never said possessions. Jesus said every man will be judged according to his actions, not possessions. Therefore, set your correct priorities, because priorities will determine your actions, what to do and what not to do. The fifth one is mental slavery. These are restrictions that limit your abilities these are restrictions that limit your abilities and cause actions based on your patterns of thinking. Let me repeat it. These are restrictions that limit your abilities and actions based on your patterns of thinking. It's not what you are that holds you back. It's what you think that holds you back, Dr. Miles Monroe said. It's not what you are that holds you back. It's what you think that holds you back. What you think about yourself determines how you act and how you behave. Changing location, clothes does not change the mind. Some people believe that when you change location, then your life will change. But the truth is, without mental transformation, the actions we take to change only produce a new place where we continue to do our old habits. Changing location does not stop one from smoking. Changing location does not stop one from stealing. The way you dress does not change the way you think. If you put on a suit and a tie but your thinking is wicked, that will never change. If you put on all the time wearing white clothes but deep in you think wicked, you will never, that's who you are. It's not about the appearance, it's about what you think. Jesus said, you cannot clean a cup by just cleaning outside. External change is not real change. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Because as a man thinks, so he acts. So is he. However, whatever we focus on becomes our reality. If you focus on the reasons why you can't do, then doubt, fear, people's opinions, and belief take control. If we focus on something, that becomes the reality. If you focus on the negative, that's what you see. And if you focus on the positive, that's you will see. So, if you focus on one reason why you can, and that is through God, everything is possible. If you focus on one thing, which is through God, everything is possible. Then faith, courage, and patience takes over. We are limited by our thinking and our level of knowledge. What you see and what you hear are small things compared to what you think. I repeat, what you see and what you hear are small things compared to what you think. All current knowledge is incomplete because what you know is little compared to what you don't know. What you know today is more than what you knew yesterday. In other words, today you know more than what you knew yesterday. Keys to overcoming mental slavery are 1. Knowledge of the truth. In this information age, there is a lot of information, but not every information is true. Only the knowledge of truth will set you free. And I only know one, and that is a man, a king. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Who is he? Jesus. The second one of key to overcoming mental slavery is mental transformation. Mental transformation, you don't change until your mind changes. When you change your mind, you don't need even to change location. However, these two keys, knowledge of the truth mental transformation are ineffective if you don't put the third one, which is action. 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 Most people believe Bible principles with their heads and not with their actions. Most people believe Bible principles with their heads but not with their action. A lot of people know. They know a lot of things, but few do what they know. There is a big difference between knowing and doing. If you know and you don't do, then you're like this. You are equal to the one who does not know. If you know and you don't do, you're equal to the person who does not know. Just as Jesus said, the two builders, the wise and the foolish builder. So, the only key to unlocking mysteries and greatness in life, and the mysteries and the greatness of life, there is only one key, and that is Jesus the Christ, Son of the living God. This is the key that will unlock every greatness. So in the next part, we shall be sharing more about the causes of unemployment. Like, comment for more. See you next time. Thank you very much.